going on as far as projects, what kind of new things we're doing, where sales are at. We'll talk about that kind of at the end. We'll talk about the furniture cycle. We're coming out of the slow season and moving into the busy season, which is, of course, the holidays. So we'll do that. We got all kinds of fun stuff to show you. Haven't done What's in the Shop for a little bit because truth is that furniture making, when you make furniture professionally, it's a lot of making the same kind of stuff. We have a lot of bread and butter furniture that pays the bills, and the fun stuff comes through. I mean, we have a lot of fun projects, but they're few far in between during the slow season, and as the busy season picks up, we get a lot more of that kind of stuff. So start off here back in the wood shop, and I'll flip my camera around here and kind of show you guys what we got going on. Like stuff way. Okay, so flip over here. So I'm starting on a new kitchen. So we got a big kitchen project coming in here. So I got a bunch of, this UV coated plywood stuff we have coming in here. So we got a bunch of that for a big kitchen that I'm actually doing in my house. So my wife wants a new kitchen, so I told her I'd do it for her because I just can never say no to that woman. Which is probably why I'm married to her. So, all right, coming here to the paint shop. Sorry guys, the compressor's on. Hopefully the compressor isn't too loud. We'll move through here fairly quickly. So in here we got a whole bunch of I got a whole bunch of this no-balk product in, right? I've been talking about this polyurethane. So I'll talk about this no-balk stuff here towards the end of the cast. We have a priming product. We have a clear coat product over here as well. So we got a lot of different things going on. The Europeans do their paints a lot different than we do here in America. So anyway, here we got a bunch of stuff ready for paint. These are all primed, getting ready to go. They've been sanded. Same thing with our china cabinet tops. This is a foam credenza that we need to get primed. We're going to use our new primer on that. More stuff needs to get sanded. More pieces ready for sanding as well. Excuse me, no, these are ready for paint. These have been sanded. Put a little bit of foam on here to keep the drawer boxes from damaging the top. Let's see here. Mike, yeah, I have. Give me a few minutes. I'll talk about the no-balk product. So in the paint room, we don't have a ton of stuff in here. We got parts for this china cabinet, so we're getting ready to do some video on this china cabinet. I've got a video on how I build these, so that'll be coming out here before too long. Let's see. Yeah, Mike, I have. We tried yesterday. So got a video on how this is made, so I'll show you guys that video at some point in the near future. Got ourselves a nice little buffet going on here. Pretty nice looking piece. And then it looks like we've got kind of a satiny looking little nightstand in here. So that's what we got in the paint room. Not a ton of stuff. We got these nice chairs we're getting ready to do. So believe it or not, people pay shit tons of money for chairs, guys. Like each one of these chairs will probably sell for about $1,200. I had no idea there was so much money in chairs, but if you can find some really nice chairs, people really like that stuff. Yeah, these ones got these really nice little, I don't know what you call it, these little kind of Asian-y details. But they're pretty sharp looking, you know. So we just sold a couple of chairs we had in our house for a while, and Suchetta sold us. I want to say sold for like $800 a pop. Like that seems like a lot of money in my opinion. I mean, it's a freaking chair for Christ's sakes. But anyway, I guess people like to pay good money for chairs. So okay, moving to final assembly. I got a whole bunch of stuff going on in here. Actually, it's not furniture related, but I'll show you guys one of the other ways we make money in the furniture business. So all right, flip around here. So over here, I got my crazy credentials. Show you guys in a second. Okay, so what we got here is this is a company called A&B, if I'm not mistaken. And so one of the ways that you make money when furniture sales are in their slow cycle is you sell what are called smalls, right? And these are other kinds of things. These are basically got big mirrors. So we got mirrors. All this stuff we buy through a company called A&B, I want to say. And the markup on this kind of stuff is generally 2.5 times. It's kind of how you need to think about this kind of stuff. So when you buy it, say you buy it for $100, you can't sell it for any less than 2.5 times that. The manufacturers will have floors for all their products. So this is a good way just to make a few extra bucks. And there's Nazar, he's heading out, worked a long day today. Anyway, this is a good way to add to your revenue streams. I talked yesterday about revenue streams. Certain parts of your business move up and then other things move down. And the idea is just to have enough revenue streams to kind of make them a little less volatile. Because I've had weeks where furniture sales will drop 75% in 1 month, you know, and most businesses can't operate that way. It's too volatile. But if you have a bunch of different revenue streams, a lot of times one can pick up while others going down. Like I said, it's kind of common sense for most people. So, okay, So we're starting putting together this china cabinet. We need to go pick up the glasses. We've had the glass sitting at Acme Glass now for freaking like a month. I'm sure they're pissed at me. But anyway, so we'll slip the glass in the back side here, and then we can actually put the back on. There's no way to really get it in through the front. So that's what we got going on. But a nice looking piece. It's kind of a very mid-century modern looking piece, right? And over here we got just a little buffet in bottle green. And nice looking piece. It's been sitting for a little while. I think it's just waiting on hardware. Looks like Suchetta's got some hardware kind of lined up here. We're having a bunch of prototype hardware made right now. And so we're working on getting the quality up. So if you see, you guys notice here, notice how the stone is slightly clocked this way a little bit. It's kind of hard to see, but this is the stuff you deal with when you manufacture hardware. It's very hard to get very good quality out of India. India is a great place. It's where they make all this stuff, but their quality is always kind of hit or miss. So what's this one? This might be malachite. I don't know. I forget what all the colors are, but this one actually looks pretty good. But they're really good at doing this rope detail. That's kind of the thing that chicks like. They really like that kind of stuff. It's really pretty, you know. So that's some of the stuff that we're working on. My guess is she probably wants to put that on here, and she's working on getting all that hardware in here. So yeah, we got several new hardware pieces that are coming in. We got a studded pole. It's like a 6-inch pole, and then I think there's a 2-inch pole that goes with it. It kind of looks like a Valentino. You guys know Valentino is a fashion company. They have a stud. They use studs in a lot of their pieces. But anyway, it's a cool piece. Cool hardware. Should sell really well. We also have those hardware with all the stones, right? So we got a lot of that stuff coming in. It gets expensive though. You got to front, I don't know, probably $7,000 to get that stuff in here. So it's a big number to get it in here. But like I said, the markup on this stuff is so high that if we spent $7,000 on it, and we're probably going to sell it for $50,000 to $70,000 by the time it's all said and done. But it's a big upfront investment. So okay, over here we got. Oops, sorry guys, flip around here. We got some more pieces in here. We got this little tall boy in here. And again, this is our hardware, but this actually isn't our backplate. This could be Modern Matters backplate. They make some really nice stuff, but this color is probably, I don't know, this is probably the color ruby. You know, but pretty nice looking piece. It's nice. People like that kind of stuff. We got these cute little nightstands that came in. We're actually starting to do a video, so I'll talk about that here for a second. These pieces right here, there's really nothing special about them. They're just kind of cute, nice pieces. This is our hardware. We manufacture this. These are our 3-inch ring pulls. So one of the things that we've started to do, finally, is we run a Shopify store. And this is a little back-end business stuff for you. We've never really ran a lot of video on our website. We have, like, on Resplendent Home, there's some of that stuff. On the Modern Wood Runner, there's some video. But on the Resplendent Crow, there isn't a ton of video. So now what we're doing is we're going through all of our furniture, and we're literally adding video to everything. So now everything's going to have basically a walkthrough of myself or Suchetta going through the furniture, opening doors, drawers. We might splice in some video of the pieces in other people's houses and things like that. And so it's going to be a little more interactive with people. Video seems to be the thing where it's going. And pictures are great when you buy stuff, but people want more now. So video is kind of important. So now we're going to get that put onto all of our listings, which is kind of cool. So if you go to the Resplendent Crow and start looking around, you guys probably see video, which is kind of, you don't see a lot of that stuff on other people's websites, but we're going to have a lot of that. So, all right, so over here, this is one of our 60-inch consoles, Greek key console. So actually I had a lawyer walked in one day and bought one of these. Actually lives up the street from me, which is kind of funny. We have just a little tiny drawer in here, nothing special. It's nice looking though. And he just absolutely loved that thing. So he just bought one right on the spot, which is kind of cool. It's a quick, whatever, $4,200. I forget what we sell those things for, but that was kind of nice. So I love when people just walk in and buy stuff, no questions asked. Some people, they want to negotiate with you a little bit. They just have a million questions. This guy just thought that was the cat's meow, and he just bought it right away. So, so this is my flame mahogany or crotch mahogany credenza. So really nice looking piece, and it turned out spectacular. The colors are amazing, and everyone seems to really like this thing. The top needs to be darkened just a little bit, so this is going to get sent over to Mike Boyle, who's on here right now, and he's going to do a little color correction for us on the top, and it should be pretty spectacular. We need to get the hardware for it, but it just gleams. I mean, look at it, guys. Look how beautiful that is. So every one of these tiles was about $200. So the veneer on this thing was about $1,200. The top piece of veneer was $800. I used half of it, so all the veneer and all in all, on this cabinet was about $1,600. Not cheap, but turned out really nice. The hardwood wasn't too bad. Mahogany is about $8 a board foot. For reference, walnut is 13 to 14. So yeah, people just really like this piece. So I hope to make a ton of those. It turned out really nice. So yeah, that's the next piece over there. So I'll head back to the wood shop real quick, show you guys some of the projects I got going on back there. Like I said, I told you guys, I talked to you guys about this Novok product that we finally got in. That was a pain in the butt, to be honest with you. Hopefully it's going to work out, because Sherwin colors are kind of going junky on us. Their color matching is not good. I think they're just losing their customer service that they used to be really, really good at. They're kind of losing. I'm losing faith in them, to be completely honest. Okay, flip around here. So I got this 90-inch credenza in here. This is for a master bedroom for the same client that just bought the mahogany piece I was showing you. So nothing special, nothing too special about this. We got to cut a bunch of details along here. There's going to be brass that goes along here. We'll have brass toe caps, and then the doors will just be flat, but they're going to have embedded brass detailing all along them. So this piece will look spectacular when it's done, but the bulk of the work is going to be in the brass work. So anyway, see how the back of the cabinet looks. Standard cabinet, we'll just plop it back on this thing, and not much to it. So you can look at the top, we've got some lines marked here, so we're going to trim this off, and we're going to wrap the whole top of this with 1/4-inch cherry wood, because we paint all our furniture. Put that 1/4-inch cherry wood along here, and then we'll put a cove along the top of this thing. It'll look pretty sharp when it's done. So here, so what we got going on here is this is a 4-foot foyer table. It's 34 inches tall. So we've got all the jigs that I made for making all of these legs, right? So the truth is that 2 of these are going to equal 1 leg, okay? But in order to make the legs correctly, we have one joint that runs along this way, right? So this leg, sorry, I'm just going to do this one-handed. This leg kind of sets like so, right? So your joint is ran together like this. We'll add another piece along here, but we'll put the joint probably somewhere over here, so this joint won't share the other piece, so that when this is all said and done, this will end up being 2 inches thick, which is what we're going to want. And for the base looks something kind of like this, right? Again, to use a jig. Man, it sure would be nice to have a CNC to make this thing, but man, no CNC for me yet. So basically the way this is all going to work is these will set here something kind of like so. Something kind of like that. But the base will be 2 inches thick also. So this will end up being about 2 inches thick. We'll make that all out of plywood, and then we'll put hardwood on the edges, right? And then we'll have brass details along here. We'll have brass details along here as well. So it'll look pretty sharp when it's done. But again, 48-inch round, and these are going to be brass balls feet on the very bottom. So it should be pretty sharp when it's all done. But a lot of work. And again, it would be really nice to have a CNC on a project like this. It's like perfect. You have to cut out a whole bunch of parts like this, but it's a lot of laminating pieces, a lot of bonding things together, and running that router, just tons of router work, which is cool. So over here we've got 6 credenzas. We've got 2 100-inchers, 2 80-inchers, and 2 60-inchers. And Nazar's starting to put all of the nosing on here. So what a lot of people do, and I'm always talking about this, is they take edge banding and they put edge banding on all their panels. So that's one of the things that we don't do. I talk about this all the time. Like, I don't put the traditional edge banding on my cabinets for the most part. So this is what most people put on their cabinets, right? This is going to have glue on the back of it. You heat it up with an iron or some kind of a hot machine, and then you press it onto the panel, right? Well, the problem with this kind of stuff is it falls off, and you can ding it, nick it really easily, and it's just kind of junk, to be honest with you. If you want to get top dollar for your furniture, I'm always telling you guys, show them quality, show them what they're paying for. And so this is what we put on there. 1/8-inch nosing goes on all of our panels. That's on everything. So all of these panels will all get 1/8-inch nosing all the way along them. So there's a shit ton of work to do all this, and it takes a lot of hours to get it all done. But that's what I'm selling. I'm telling you guys, and I sell 50 of these things a year. This is one of my bread and butter, my halo pieces of furniture. People like the quality. And again, when we do these videos of all of our furniture, as we're updating our website, that's one of the things we're going to talk about. We'll show people exactly how we make these things. And again, that's one of the reasons that I show everybody how I make my furniture. I'll make the videos, I'll put it all out there, and I don't give a fuck if anybody sees it. They can make the same stuff that I'll make. It doesn't matter. None of my customers are going to buy your stuff over mine when we're the OG. That's kind of how I see it. And I've never had a problem with other people making furniture, showing people how I make furniture, because there's enough business for everyone. Everyone needs to compete for customers and design and all that kind of stuff. And I don't mind showing people. So, okay, more stuff. So obviously this is more of these panels. You see again all the way along here, Nazar's taping all these up, and you see how we do it. Pieces of tape. This is how I used to do it in corporate jets. When I would do all my jet stuff, that's why I do it this way. A lot of people use clamps, stuff like that. Clamps are good. But again, every one of these panels probably takes 30 minutes to do all this work too. You can edge band this thing in like 5 minutes. Takes no time at all. So you see there's a lot of time invested. So here, what we have is we have 1 and we have 2 of these 40-inch units, okay? And there's also a third one that goes in the center. So this thing will be 10 foot long when it's done. That's the other unit that's sitting over there. So these is this crazy credenza I built for my wife. It's 10 feet long. It's 3 units in the vein of like a Mastercraft or a American and Martinsville credenza. But I've sold 3 of these now. So I made the first one for my wife. I had a lady come over, bought one, and then we had another lady order this set here in town locally. So she's bought one, and then I've got another client that just bought another 10-footer. And I take it back. It's not this one. It's the Zane credenza in 10 feet. So these things are starting to sell, starting to get a little bit of traction on them, but these are actually pretty simple cabinets, but because they're so massive, you can charge a ton of money for them. So like vehicles, like it doesn't take much more time to make an SUV than it does to make a little shitbox, 2-door car, but you get to charge a lot more money because it's bigger, right? Bigger charges more. Trucks, again, charge more money for all these things. It's the same thing with furniture. The longer your furniture is, the more you can charge for it. The taller your furniture is, the more you can charge for it. So just a little tip for everyone there. These pieces, like I said, these units are 10 foot long. The other ones over here are 10 foot long. And these are all $10,000 and up dollar pieces of furniture. And that's just kind of how the game works, to be honest with you. Size gets you more cost. So here we'll go to, here I'll show you guys this, hold on one second, guys. I'll show you this kitchen frame that I'm working on. So this entire kitchen, let me come over here, I'll turn my camera around. So our kitchen we're working on is all just going to be these beaded facings. The entire kitchen is going to be drawers. There's going to be no doors in the kitchen, none. It's all drawers on the bottom. Everything will be in alignment all the way throughout the kitchen. Look pretty sharp when it's all said and done. So I got to make about 30 of these little pieces. You make all these on the table, so I'll just take a bunch of them together, glue like 6 of them, tape up like 6 of them at the same time, run it through your table saw at a 45-degree angle. Goes pretty quick. So that's kind of how I tend to do that. Okay, let's see what else I got going on here. We'll go into sanding real quick, and I'll show you guys what frickin' our sanders are doing. We're all at OT this week, so yeah, going on here. So Manuel is sanding up all of these trays, okay? These are more of these smalls that I'm always telling you guys about. So these things, you can buy these for like 20 bucks. They're all made in China, but I'll high gloss lacquer them and put my logo on it and sell these things for probably 400 bucks. So that's kind of what these will be sold for. We'll sell these about 400 bucks. But every single one of these, you can see, and while he's over there sanding these things, he'll spend a good hour on each one of these in prep. And that's what you're paying for. That's what we show people. We don't mind telling people that, yeah, you're going to pay 300 or 400 bucks for something that costs $20. But when they see all the time that we put in this, they know the quality of our paint, they don't mind paying for it at all. So these are our first kind of prototypes to see if this thing works. We also have these little trays. These are all, I don't know what this is, probably some kind of cheap metal from China, but there's a wood insert that goes along here. It looks pretty nice. Oh, here they are, right here. So these little, almost kind of look like oak, but anyway, they set in there something kind of like that. And again, we'll paint these in our resplendent colors, and then we can sell these for whatever, probably 200 or 300 bucks a pop. So little ways that you can make extra money to, like I said, just to grow your revenue streams. Like whatever you can do to grow your revenue streams. Swallow your pride, buy that shit from China if you have to, add value to it, and make it your own. And that's how you make money. You can't be afraid to try different kinds of ways to bring in revenue. And anyway, now I'm walking here to the very back and see if we got anything in the picture. I don't know what the hell we got. I've been back here forever. But yeah, you just got to keep working on revenue streams, guys. Like I told you guys yesterday, the Resplendent Home, we've had that thing for like 3 or 4 years. I think it made its first $100 in a month since we had the damn thing. And that's just kind of how it goes. I mean, it just, some things work, some things don't. Okay, and back here in our shipping, one of our shipping rooms. So we got this beautiful kind of, I want to like a neoclassical kind of Hollywood Regency piece, I should say. But we got a new piece of marble coming in for this thing. This piece is too damn small. You can see how it kind of says on the back here. So we got a new piece of marble coming in for that. But it turned out nice. These are just painted with a little bit of gold leaf paint. And it looks really nice. It's a fantastic looking piece. Of course, adding height to headboards. We're always taking headboards and making them taller. So rich people have big beds. They have big rooms. And when you have these big, you know, big rooms and big beds, then you need big headboards, you need big nightstands, you need big dressers. So that's why like the old style dressers were like 30 inches tall, right? Nightstands are like, hell, I got nightstands that are 22 inches tall. Now my nightstands today are like 32 inches tall. I mean, they're significantly taller. My dressers are 38 inches tall. I'm trying to think some of the other furniture we make for bedrooms. It just, everything's gotten taller because the rooms have gotten so much bigger, and it's only going to get bigger, guys. Like it's, like I keep telling you guys, the chasm between the haves and the have-nots is going to continue to grow, and it's really important that you just keep working on your product. You keep working on the thing you're selling and cater to the richest person you possibly can. And it takes a while, but you can build up a client list of people that will be with you and keep you in business for a long time. So, all right, more stuff. So we got some beautiful pieces over here. Again, we got, sorry guys, kind of hidden in here. This is our hardware. We, of course, make this, and it's good-looking stuff. People love our hardware. It's amazing how much hardware we put on pieces. But that's a vintage piece. It's a nice Chantilly lace color. We got this cool little, I forget what I think they called this a card table. I think this is a century piece. But these are pretty nice. You know, I think people have seen these before. They're pretty common. A lot of freaking work in fixing this shit, though. I'll tell you guys what. If you ever run into this stuff and it's all fucked up, just peel it all out. Peel it all out, have this CNC cut. It's worth it. You'll save yourself so much time because there's so much of this stuff on here. You can just CNC cut like a whole sheet of this stuff out. It doesn't take that long. But anyway, last thing we got to get a piece of glass for the top of it. We also have this nice pink dresser over here. And again, our hardware is on here. Not only do we sell hardware, but we sell backplates, right? So my wife, my wife is one of the early people that kind of popularized this idea of putting a backplate on with a knob, right? So you got these that sell for whatever, 20, 25 bucks. And then you got this that probably sells for 30, 35 bucks. So you're talking like 50, 60, 70 bucks right here for each one of these. So pretty cool. And you guys remember what I was telling you about the hardware. When the hardware comes in, you know, it costs us like $2, $3, $4, $5. You know, the back plates are like $2, you know. So this stuff comes in pretty cheap. You do have to watch the quality a lot. Quality can be a real problem with stuff coming in from India, but the markup is really good because the market, the markup is dictated by the market, right? It's like we don't really have much say. We could try and charge more money if we want, but it's unnecessary. We don't need to. So, okay, more pieces. So we've got this nice little, what is this? It's kind of cute. Some kind of, I don't even know what the hell's in here. Okay, yeah, it's just a little, almost like a little secretary cabinet, right? It seems pretty common. But, you know, you got the nice shine on it, and there's no hardware. I guess maybe the client has their own hardware or whatever. But also we make curved vanities. So what are our curved vanities? I've actually got a double version of this that I need to finish up the model for this weekend. This is going to be 80 inches long. So they want basically be 1, 2. So kind of cool. So I got to get my engineering on this weekend, get that done. So other things, what else do we got back here? So if I come into the picture room, the famous picture room, oh, hell yeah, look at that. How pretty is that, guys? So this is, I think this is Urbane Bronze is the color, but pretty sick, right? Right, and this this will blow your mind, guys. So look at this. So this is one thing I can't understand, okay? This is the big difference between men and women, okay? Like, I see this and all I see is a fantastic waste of money. But chicks see this and they think, man, that's really cool, okay? So look at this. You got a pull here. I think these pulls, we sell these for 15 or 20 bucks a pop, right? Then you got 1 plate and 2 plates. So like I said, this is probably 15, 20 bucks. This is probably 25. So you probably got $50 to $70 just in this one thing, right? You got, what do you got? 9 of these, 12 of these on here. So do that math. So I love it. Whenever I see these big stacks of hardware, it's just like money, 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 money. I love seeing that stuff. So here, look how pretty that is, guys. This is probably like a McCandless red. Really nice looking piece. So we use this room back in here because it just shows colors and furniture really well. But again, all this hardware is our hardware. So not only are we making money using the calculator that I've told you guys about, which is length times width times 1.5 to refinish this piece, they bought our hardware, and we'll deliver it back to wherever they're at. So over here, same deal. You got a tall boy in some kind of a jade, antique jade color. But again, here's our hardware. 3-inch ring pull, daisy backplate. Real popular combo. So this is making money on the cabinet, making money on the hardware. So that's kind of how we do it. Also got some new mirrors in here. I showed you guys all the mirrors in the beginning of the stream. This is one of them. So we'll use this mirror when we shoot our photos and our video of the products. So you guys kind of see how this works. Like, it's just, look at all the products. Oh, wait, we happen to sell all the products, you know, and it's just, that's how it works. Like, people just ask, like, oh, do you sell this? I saw this in your picture. I saw this in your video. You know, my friend had this. It can create a snowball where people are just looking at all your cool shit, and they just start looking at it, and they ask questions, and they want to buy it. And this is just how it goes, you know? So anyway, that is, I think, what I got going on in my shop today. So we'll go back and talk about this no bulk paint product real quick. And then I think my battery is going to die because I just cannot keep a charged battery on my freaking phone anymore. So I'm always on the damn thing. So let's run back to the paint department real quick. We'll go over that stuff, and we'll end the stream for today. So I guess, hold on, we got to get here. Okay, this little China cabinet came in. You know, we don't generally sell these things. I don't know what the hell Suchetta bought this for, but it's kind of nice looking. Again, more clients who always tag everyone's pieces that come in from wherever they're coming in from, but someone wants that painted. So odds are we'll paint it, we'll take the hardware off, we'll put our hardware on, sell, sell, sell. We got this thing kind of goofy. I don't know what the hell it is. It's got some nice little wings on it. I've never seen this before. It's actually one piece, right? You got this nice little corbel in here, and it's just one piece on top of another. But kind of cool. Interesting hardware. Look at that. It's like some kind of a sunflower kind of deal. Pretty sharp though. So, okay, so back into the paint department. Okay, so no bulk. So this is the primer system, right? So one of the things that is cool about this stuff is ready to sand in 40 minutes, which is unheard of, okay? So I'm always telling you guys, I use a lot of Mohawk vinyl sealer, which I've shown you guys many times before, is this product right here. So what is this, a Duracoat High Solids vinyl sealer. We use a ton of that, but it takes a good day for that stuff to dry. So what we've done is we've took on this this no bulk product because of it's like having another arrow in your quiver. Okay, so what it means is we're generally spraying primer. We like to spray in the morning or before we leave, either or. Because if we spray it in the morning, we could probably sand it towards the end of the day, and then we can potentially put paint on it. Or we prime at the end of the day, so that in the morning when we come in, it's ready to sand and paint. This no bulk product that we have right here, this no bulk product is ready to go in 40 minutes. Basically an hour, you're ready to sand, which is unheard of, right? So anyone that's in the furniture game, anyone that's been in business for themselves knows that there are so many instances where you have to ship something out. You don't have the time, something gets fucked up, you have to hurry up and fix it because you got to get it shipped out, right? We all know that if you don't ship something on time, if you don't get the customer's product delivered when you say you're going to get delivered, it'll piss them off. They will not be happy, you know. So having this no bulk product allows us to basically shave 8 hours off of our finish process, which is really cool. It's something that I just never even thought about because it just was never a thing. Okay, so that's what we got going on with the primer situation. So over here, so all of this is clear coat, right? So the one of the shitty things about this no bulk product is, so this is going to be your primer, right? This is your primer base, right? Then you're going to have this smaller one is your hardener, right? And I had to write all this stuff on here so everyone could figure out what it is. You have to put 50% hardener for every bit of your base, right? And then this is your reducer. You got this big ass thing of reducer here. You got to reduce this thing down 20, 30%. So you got 3 parts to mix up that primer, which normally would be a pain in the butt, right? And our painter does kind of bitch about it from time to time, but it doesn't matter because of the amount of time it saves, you know. And when you can basically prime, sand, and paint a cabinet in like 4 hours if you have to, which is just wild, you know. And the no bulk product is expensive if you buy the paint, the paint and the color. If you just buy the clear and the primer, it's comparable to Mohawk or Sherwin pricing, which is kind of wild, which is cool, you know. So back to the clear. Okay, so this is all clear, right? So again, you've got your reducer, you've got your catalyst, and then you're going to have your actual clear coat. Now, what we do with this is we don't generally do a ton of clear coating, but because we're switching over to Mohawk, we're going to start using Mohawk on everything, right? And Mohawk's gloss is only a 90 sheen, right? Which is not shiny enough for what we do. But anyone that sprays lacquer, if you're having trouble getting a really good shine, you shoot it with clear coat, whether it's Novolk or you can use a Sherwin clear over the top of a Mohawk product, will give you a much better finish than just doing straight Mohawk high gloss lacquer or doing Sherwin high gloss lacquer. So Sherwin products are kind of going to shit, if I'm being completely honest. You can see we've got a lot of Mohawk products on here now because we're slowly moving over. We've used this Sherwin lacquer now for probably 6 or 7 years, and it's starting to fall off cabinets. Like I've gotten lacquer now that has actually been rubbery. I've had just all kinds of issues. White, there's something in their white base. What they're trying to do is they're trying to use tint in their lacquer products. They want that tint to be used across other product lines, which makes sense from a manufacturing standpoint. But when your big time customers are rejecting your product because it's falling off of cabinets, or it has adverse reactions to your primer, or it has an adverse reaction to your Bondos, your fillers, things like that, it's a real problem, and they don't seem to want to fix it. So we're basically getting rid of it. Like, we're going to get out of the Sherwin game. The new cocktail is going to be it's going to be a Novolk primer or a Mohawk primer on top of a Mohawk base with a Novolk clear coat, or we could use a Sherwin clear coat. As long as we don't have to touch their tints, I think we'll be okay. But the thing about the clear coat, okay, we have to understand is the Mohawk base, sometimes it shines really nice and it'll be dry within a day, and you can touch it and you can polish it and all these kind of things the next day, which is fantastic. If you spray Novolk's clear coat, the clear coat is dry within 2 hours, like completely dry. Like you can wrap it and ship it, which is unheard of. And I'll do more talks about this kind of stuff as we use it more, but there's no smell to it. It's friggin' amazing, guys. Like, if you're in the furniture finishing game and you want to be able to scale up your business, you want to be able to run, whatever, 100, 200 pieces a month, you have to have a product that works really fast. And so far, this Novolk product seems like it's almost too good to be true. But we're just going to keep running with it because we think it's going to be pretty good. We're pretty happy with what we're seeing so far. But times are changing. The Resplendent Crow is changing as we're having issues with paint. And every time we have to have a cabinet come back, I mean, it's thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, not only in labor from having to fix it, but just in the shipping to go get it. Because remember, we're located here in St. Louis, Missouri. Most of our clients are in the Northeast, right? So, I mean, someone's got to go way up north. That could be Connecticut, that could be Maine. I mean, that could be just anywhere up there, or they're way down in Miami. We got a lot of clients in Miami, a lot in Dallas, the typical places. But it's very expensive because not only you got to go there and get it, then you got to bring it back, and so it gets very expensive. So the idea of having a product that's going to dry better, we're not going to have shrink issues, not going to have wrap issues, all these kind of things is pretty cool, So that's what's kind of going on with the Novolk thing. Let's go through the comments. I'll kind of interact with people for a minute. Like I said, my phone is, let's see how much juice I got. I got 13% left, so you guys can have all 13%, and then I guess I'm going to have to get back to working on my table. So, okay, let's see what we got in here. So, yeah, Mike's in here. Mike, good to see you, man. Hopefully things are going good for you. I've talked about the Novolk thing, Mike, so I think I covered your questions for the most part. If you have more, please let me know. So we got Joey Cooper's in here. Joey, good to see you, man. Glad you're here. Let me know where you're at. Guys, hit the like button. Add the discussion. I guess YouTube likes the algorithm when people, hit the like button and add to the comments. I think I'm at like 1,675 hours at this point, on my way to 3,000. So every time we hit the like button, we add the discussion, and we keep the interaction going on the stream, it helps to build up those hours and again, have another revenue stream. It's unfortunately that's just life, guys. That's how it goes with the cost of the things and the way it's going. I mean, you have to have more than one way to make money, and that's just kind of how I see it. And again, I tell you guys, this stuff is a normie dude, and That's what we're doing. So I'm always trying to build revenue streams, come up with new product lines, new things that I can sell people, new ways to make money that build on the things that I already do to make money, you know. And again, not a rich man, so clearly I'm not the best at it, but it works. And like, what else are you gonna do? Okay, let's see. So who else is in here? We got, is this Renald's in here? Renald, good to see you. Son is in here. Son, good to see you as always, man. Let's see, those pedal drawer pulls look great. Yeah, they're cool. You know, hardware's it's a great way to make money. You know, and that's one of those things that I've got to get that hardware put on the modern Woodrunner. We have it on the Resplendent Crow, but I've got so much damn shit that I need to get on the modern Woodrunner website, but I don't do it. I don't think about it much. The modern Woodrunner brings in, I think I told you guys this, I think it brings in like 3,000 to 7,000. It might bring in a little bit more. But what I mostly sell on the modern Woodrunner is I sell a lot of faux bamboo parts, right? Because we're kind of the only people that do that stuff. And people buy my legs and my trims, not all the time, but I probably make a sale every month, you know, just somewhere in there, you know, and it's just another way to make a little bit of money, but I need to get all this freaking stuff that I have put on there. Like, I have all the campaign hardware, guys. You guys ever seen campaign hardware? We make all of it. And I've done the videos. So you guys, if you go on the Modern Woodrunner on YouTube, you'll see I did a big long video on how to make a campaign dresser. You know, grain match all the veneers, and it's all using our hardware, which is really cool. You know, so I got a lot to do there. Okay, IBM's in here. What's in the shop? Yes, IBM. I think I went through everything. I don't know that there was anything I didn't show you. So next week, if I do what's in the shop, I'll have that foyer table going on. I've got this massive 15-foot table that I'm supposed to get started on. I've been bidding on veneer because basically I have to buy a big, massive batch of veneer for this cabinet because it all has to be crotch mahogany. Nobody makes crotch mahogany like that anymore. So I basically got to find old stock of big lots of tiles so that I can have a company build up this massive sheet of veneer. So I got that going on, which is stupid expensive. Like, it's wild. I can't, the numbers just, anyway. Yeah, I got that coming. So, okay, Mike, okay, good thing that is I'm fairly familiar with those products and the catalysts I've used, the Novak. Yeah, Novak's great, Mike. Like, I've been real happy with the Novak products so far. The guys were great. The people that came down, we had Harvey and I forget the other guy's name, but I mean, they're real nice people. Very, like, just, again, like, a lot of information. Like, I learned a lot about paint, owning a fucking paint company, you know, so that was really cool. I really liked having those guys there to kind of teach me things that I didn't know. They were shocked by the way we paint. They couldn't believe how we lay paint down, so they learned something too, which is really cool. So it was a good experience with those guys, and I hope that we can do business with them for a long time because their product dries so fast. So think about this, guys. So we got Aaron in here. Aaron, you'll appreciate this. So basically here's the timeline of our paint. Right? Sorry guys, on my Steadicam. I didn't charge anything. I didn't plan on doing a video today. So the way our paint process works is generally what we have to do is we have to prime, right? So we prime. Priming can take whatever 30 minutes, but then it takes at least 8 hours for that primer to dry. You can put it outside and cook it a little bit, but then you run the risk of it bubbling. So generally you want to give it a good 8 hours to dry, and that's using the Mohawk product. The Novak primer is 1 hour. It's insane, you know, and I think it has to do with the catalyst, right? Because you do have to mix everything up, the pot life is very short. I think that's why it kicks off so fast. It's much easier to use. Whereas the pot life on a pre-catalyzed lacquer, you know, is whatever, 3 to 6 months. So it dries really fast, which is super important. So we go from 8 hours down to 1 hour, right? Then when you tack on the paint, if we wanted to use a Novak paint, we could do a 2-hour paint job on a Novak paint, which we can get mixed up right here in town locally, which is really cool. But their paint's crazy expensive. It's about, I want to say it's twice as expensive as Sherwin or Mohawk paint. So you're talking like $150 a gallon, but it dries in 2 hours, okay? So you go from basically taking a full day for your paint to dry. So now you're basically into day 2 to, again, another 2 hours for your paint to dry to where you can sand it and reapply coats. Then you go to your last stage, which for us would be a clear. If the color isn't glossy enough, if it's not bright enough, we will clear it. And clear with a Mohawk or a Sherwin, again, takes another 8 hours. Novak, you're talking an hour, 2 hours for that stuff to dry. So you can literally prime, paint, clear an entire cabinet in a day, wrap it the next day, and ship that thing out. Okay, that would be impossible to do with any Sherwin or Mohawk product, right? That I've ever used, because you're talking multiple days and just in finish time to make that happen. So it's really cool that you have the option to turn and burn a cabinet if you need to get it shipped out. Like if you got a shipper, like we're in St. Louis, sometimes we got cabinets that need to go out to California, whatever. I mess up a cabinet, something gets damaged, the paint doesn't lay down right. You can really screw yourself if you're in a hurry. You don't always have the time to fix things, to be able to wrap it, to put it on a shipper's truck, to send it out to someplace that you don't normally go. With that Novak product, man, I would have no problem getting that thing done, and it's freaking awesome. So freaking awesome. So if you guys need any help with getting this product, or want to know about it or whatever, I'm happy to talk to you about it. So anyway, okay, Aaron, sorry I didn't read your comment. So we're going to pick up that San Diego Hutch Suite. Good. I'm glad. I hope that worked out for you. I hope that U-Ship gets you paid. I don't know how that works. I always have nightmares about having to deal with third-party shippers. That's why I have my own shippers on staff. And while it's stupid expensive to pay them, it's worth it in just knowing that our customers are very comfortable with our shippers because they've been with them for so long. Our shippers know the routes. They know how to get into all the, Martha's Vineyards, the, what is it, Traverse City, or Mackinac Island. They know how to get, into all the penthouses, out on the goofy islands out in like Jupiter. They just know all this kind of stuff, which is really cool. The third-party shippers are always kind of running a risk that, you hope that they've got good feedback and that they're going to be what they say they are. So anyway, I hope that works out for you. I'm glad I was able to help you. And that goes for anyone. You guys need any help with anything at all, please don't feel free to reach out. I'm always looking to help people. And again, I do these streams to show people that normal dude, no education, just busted his ass and kept working and taking swings. 3 failed companies, and then finally got it. I don't know, I was probably in my mid 30s when I finally figured it out. Basically because I met the right woman. Like how many stories have people had like that? You met the right partner in life, and suddenly things get better. That's one of the reasons I tell you guys, like, don't surround yourselves with fucking losers, man. Like don't let that energy creep in around you, because it'll take you down. It'll bring you down a peg, and you don't need that stuff. So surround yourself with high quality people, and if people around you don't want to come up to where you are, then keep them away if you can, because it's they'll take you down. So that's just my opinion. Okay, who else coming here? We got Bunny Bomb Studios in here. Good to see you. Yeah, I've seen you in here before. I'm glad you're back. I appreciate everyone coming in and hanging out and supporting the cast. Like I said, this is small business, guys. Small business. We paint furniture, we high gloss lacquer furniture, we polyurethane furniture, we make beautiful stain pieces, we make boutique, high-end, very expensive furniture, and that's what I want everyone to be able to do. I want you all to be able to start your own company and be able to get out of the 9-to-5, do the things you want to do, and just show you guys what it really is like. I don't know of a program that can tell you exactly how to do it. Sometimes you just have to kind of have that. You have to be interested, right? I'm always telling people you gotta be curious about whatever. Like if you got that curiosity, you'll chase all kinds of things, and sometimes you chase those things and it blows up in your face, but other times it turns into something amazing, so you never know. But anyway, guys, I think my phone is about dead. I got 6% on here. I appreciate everyone coming out. I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. Last comment, Aaron, they already sent the money, the insurance was key. Thank goodness. I'm so glad to hear that, and I will remember that if we use U-Ship in the future, that we need to make sure we have. I guess I assumed that was all included when you use U-Ship. So I hope that if people are going to use U-Ship in the future, that they have the insurance policy. That way they don't end up having to negotiate with the shipper or try and negotiate with a third party, because that's just, man, what a time suck that can be. So anyway, Aaron, good luck. And again, everyone have a great weekend, and I'll probably be back tomorrow. I'll show you guys some more stuff. We'll talk about something. So have a great one.